Joe Piatara with your Muscle Sport Minute. This episode is brought to you by Iron Mag Labs, Ultra Male RX T Booster. This is going to do more than get you ready for the gym. It'll also get you ready for the bedroom. Check them out at ironmaglabs.com. Order your bottle, Ultra Male RX, right now. My favorite football team, the New York Jets. Same old Jets, Jets, just end the season. Yep, it's another one of those years. I've been watching this team my whole life. I'm nearly 50 years old. And I covered them for many years as a sports writer, on the road, at home, at training camp, in the locker room. It's always the same bullshit with this team. They can never commit to a rebuilding quarterback and stick with this guy. You go all the way back to after Richard Todd took over for Joe Namath. You had the whole Matt Robinson battle. Ken O'Brien is probably a good example. If you stick with a guy, you can have success. And yes, they did have a lot of success with Ken O'Brien at quarterback. Look at the numbers that he put up. He had some great offensive seasons for the Jets. When they had not a good team around him, he had his 62 sacks. He didn't do well. But when he had a good line and some good weapons, the guy did good. They put a lot of points up. You go to Mark Sanchez. First 2 years were good. The butt fumble just killed his tenure in Jet Green. And Geno Smith, I don't think he ever was the right guy anyway. Now you have two guys, Petty and Hackenberg. You got to decide one of these guys is probably going to be a starter next season. You got 5 games left, Todd Bowles. If you thought, that Bryce Petty was the guy, I think you would have saw him against the Patriots. Put Hackenberg in. Let's go. He was a high draft pick, maybe a bit of a reach. Probably shouldn't have been taken that high. Now you got to make good on it. If you put him in next year, the team is going to be weaker next year. You're probably going to have no Brandon Marshall. Hopefully you'll get a tight end for once and use that, because if you have a young quarterback and you don't have a tight end as a safety, somebody can just dump it off to. I know they have good running backs out of the backfield. Powell and Forte are great coming out of the backfield, catching the ball. You need a tight end also. So what you need to do is put Hackenberg in there. Petty, to me, he was a 4th round pick. He had a lot of learning to do. Hackenberg was in a good system, at least for a couple of years with Penn State. And it was a big program. I mean, the guy is ready to go. Yeah, Dak Prescott is a fucking superstar right now in this league. He was picked way after Hackenberg was in the draft. You put him in there, let him take his lumps. Troy Aikman was 1-15, and Peyton Manning was 3-13 in their respective rookie campaigns in the NFL. Christian Hackenberg could go in there and he could lose 5 straight. It's still better than him sitting on the bench, not even dressed, because you got Petty as the backup and Hackenberg's your 3rd string. You had him as your 4th string at one point before Geno blew his knee out. You're going to get Geno's not coming back. Fitzpatrick is not coming back. So what are you going to do? You're going to have 2 guys that barely have any playing time between them. Be the guys next year, the 1 and 2. Put Hackenberg in there. Petty, you don't even know. Maybe you don't even need Petty for next year. Maybe he could be your number 3. If Hackenberg's the guy, find out now. Let him go into training camp with a shot. Bring a veteran in as a backup, but not to take the job. Bring a McCowan, that type of guy. Not to take the job, just to show him the ropes a little bit. Fitzpatrick, you don't bring him back because he was the starter here. Let Hackenberg play. Let Hackenberg take his lumps. Okay? The guy played in front of big, big crowds at Penn State. He can handle the Boo Birds at MetLife Stadium. Enough of this fucking, we're afraid to put this quarterback in. You have to commit to a guy. What Woody Johnson need to do and Mike McCagnon, they need to tell Bowles, you're not getting fired. This was an off-season, bad year. Last year was good. This year sucked. You're not getting fired. Coach for the future. Don't coach for wins right now. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about saving your job. Just come out and say it in public. He's not going to get fired. We want to see what we have for the future. Get Hackenberg in there. Let him take his fucking lumps. We need to find out if the guy isn't the answer or not. Because if they draft another quarterback this year, it's enough's enough. Find out what you got, if it's worth it or not. Check us out every day on MuscleSportMag.com. $32 a year, free U.S. shipping for your subscription.